Hello everyone and welcome, Simon here from the Wells of Wall Street. We have a MultiVac MT video up right now for you guys. Sorry I didn't manage to get around to doing it yesterday, but here we are, we're here today. So guys, a couple of recaps here before we go into the chart. Of course, we mentioned this in the previous video. The smart contracts aspect of MultiVac is indeed coming in November, supposedly released by the end of this month. Well, hurry up guys, you've got like 2 weeks, okay? So let's keep an eye out for that. I do think we will see some really intricate detail of potential uptake in the price point on the chart, which we'll go into in a second, as well as probably some profit taking as well. For me personally, I think MultiVac is one that you can definitely accumulate over the next few years in anticipation for a few years' time. But that's not to say that there's plenty of opportunity for growth and gains in these coming months. And we'll go into a bit of a price prediction in a second as well. But back to this whole point, MRC20 standard is here and smart contracts will be released by the end of this month. I haven't a clue why they blurred out all this nonsense, but I'm assuming it's to do with the testing aspect. But MRC20 transfers have indeed occurred for its own protocol system in comparison with other projects out there with their own systems as well. So really interesting news coming out of that aspect. New coin listing on Bitcan, I'm not really sure about that one. I haven't heard of them, but the more the merrier, of course. The more awareness, the greater the opportunity is for MultiVac to increase in price, as you know. But since then, there hasn't been a massive sort of updates really on the project, but really excited to see the development of the smart contract aspect for MultiVac. So let's go straight into the chart and let's not waste any more time. Do smash that like button if you like the content or are hearing the content right now. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and welcome aboard to all the new viewers and subscribers here. We really massively appreciate it, and we are flying through the subscriber list. So guys, what have we got observation wise for MultiVac right now? Just going to pull this down a tad more and bring that up. So really what we're looking at right now is essentially a confirmation of support at this 2 cent level. We had this big uptake here, and then the drop down of profit taking was pretty understandable. And what you're going to see here, guys, in my opinion, where we had this big nice uptake here in the end of October, you had the nice big U shape here. Some people call it the cup and handle. I think that doesn't look anything like a cup and handle, but you got the U shape here of the intake of the buy-ins as well. But this is where you would have seen resistance anyway, because you perhaps have people missing out on these opportunities back here. They wanted to have another advantage of taking a second or maybe even a third opportunity, because I think if I remember correctly, on the 5th of November, this was quite a big up and down spike. It was quite quick, so if you weren't on the ball or didn't have limit orders, you probably missed that opportunity. So when this came about, of course, people naturally would have taken it. But what's really healthy about this project, of course, over time, we've had some really good positive momentum. If you look back here, the 30th of July, 1/3 of a cent. And if I remember correctly, when I was initially hearing about MultiVac, I think it was like maybe April, May time through Cheeky Crypto, the prices were still really very much low and undervalued in my opinion, if I look back at it in this point in time. I've only recently got back into MultiVac in general myself, around this sort of 1.5 cent mark, so already seeing a few good gains. But of course, it's something that I'm going to accumulate over time, and definitely want to get involved in staking. There's obviously implications involved in staking. We have the MTV staking video in a couple of days' time. Do keep an eye out for that, because there are implications like I think something like 500 MTV needs to be used, or X amount back and forth. So keep an eye out for that. We'll go into full detail of those for sure. But right now, what we're looking at here is very much trying to get the mechanism of support at 2 cents. This reflects as well nicely with historic information, not necessarily all the way back here, but certainly in these areas where we saw in the mid to high range of September, and back here as well. So what we need to identify here is confirming arguably still the potential of coming down lower than this 2 cent mark, testing these areas as we put in this buy opportunity down here, which we hit personally on 2 occasions actually. It just emphasizes my point that since this arguably this kind of area here onwards, we're in a big price discovery mode. So we need to come back, test these areas, get more health and stability into the project before we can push it up to next higher levels. So we are floating around this mark earlier in November. We've hit resistance levels here at the end of September and couldn't quite push it further both here on the 5th of September and the 18th and 19th of September. So this is where we are, and it's really confident in my mind, guys, because we've got this nice stability tracking going on. We've dipped down, it's rejected it, it's coming back up. That doesn't mean that it's not over and we might test that ground again, but we do have a lot of motion around that area already. So it could indicate that we've seen, or about to see, a new realistic price point or real price point for MTV moving forwards. So that's why I'm interested to see over the next coming days where we will hit that. Performance indicator wise, here on the right hand side, that you can see 17% down on the week is understandable. We have 17% up on the month, which is fantastic. And look at that year to date, guys, 8,600%. Congratulations to those who have been holding for a longer time than I have. Let us know the price point you got in with MTV. Really interested to know that. I know some of you have been commenting that on the last few videos. It's absolutely staggering to see how awake you guys are. And if you're not, if you're new like me to MTV, it's not a problem, guys. There's plenty of time. I think we're going to have some good gains in this upcoming run. I've got a price prediction in my head of around 30 cents. Okay, let us know what you think about that. I've actually put 27 cents here. I'll stick with 27 cents. Let us know what you think the price prediction will be for the end of the bull run, before we do indeed come down potentially and have an opportunity for more accumulation ready for a few years time. And for sure, the MTV project is phenomenal. Go and check our intro video if you want to learn a bit more about that as well. But that's where we are right now, indicator wise. We're in a neutral ground. We're very much testing this area, in my opinion. If we can get support here over the next 24 hours, I think we could start pulling this up. But don't worry if we come back down, because it's just another retest of full confirmation capacity in that aspect. Let's pull the RSI and the histogram up here on this part. So what can we tell from this? We're in a bearish momentum still, which is why I'm saying don't be surprised if we do come down a bit more. What I would like to see over the next couple of days to essentially confirm a switch over, two things really. One, this sell-off histogram reducing, something similar to like what we saw at the beginning of October, so we can have a bit more of a switch around, albeit staggered slightly for initially, but into a nice buying momentum. That could happen maybe in a couple of weeks time perhaps, unless something drastic happens, i.e. for example the smart contracts may twist this over quicker than anticipated. But let's see how that plays out. 50 on the RSI. We did have a low of 48 a couple of days ago. In my opinion, that's not massively confident in my mind. I would like to, if I was buying back in again, see maybe a 45 or 40 mark on the RSI. But I wouldn't be massively disappointed at getting it right now, just understanding that we're very much middle ground. It could go either way. So I would love to see 45 to 40 to reduce or minimize the risk of further drops and loss before having to try and get a better break-even opportunity. But certainly right now, you could argue that it could go either way. That's the risk you're going to take, whatever. This isn't financial advice, of course, just my opinions and thoughts. But of course, there is still massive room here between 50 and 100, of course. That's a big space to jump into. And you could see a reflection of this kind of thing in the smart contract aspect. What you will see indeed, if that happens and we do have an uptake, you will get a profit taking. Where are those profit takings going to occur? Let's have a look at some potential opportunities in that arena. Of course, the first fundamental thing that comes to my mind is this previous high here. You will probably see some resistance here if it does tail back up in the positive aspect there. And if you're looking psychologically as well, so obviously that line's around just under 3 cents. You could have a spike just over. I'm going to put one around that mark there, just over the 3 cent mark. Could we push higher than that in such a short space of time? I'm not so sure. You just don't know in this space really. It could, if it goes based on these fib retracement lines, of course 3.7 cents and 5 cents is not far off the cards. If we break these barriers, you could see moves. So for me personally, with my Qcoin limit orders, I will be doing some at 3 cents. I'll be doing some slightly over 3 cents, and I will definitely do a cheeky one around this 3.7 cents, and certainly near that 5, maybe just under around 4.7 is a nice touch point usually that I go for. Let's see how this plays out. I'm not anticipating a full jump ahead in smart contract mode into these areas immediately, but it's certainly something to really consider as we build into the bull market. Those are my first sort of initial trigger points. Not massive amounts I will drop, but certainly good initial intakes for sure. Just double money capacity essentially at 3 cents from where I was buying them, and then you're looking at other extensions to that. and then I'll probably consider some higher ones just for a laugh. We'll see how that pans out. I'm just really trying to accumulate as much MTV as possible, not necessarily for this run. Of course, I want to take some profits as I can, but I'm very interested in a few years' time as the development of blockchain, the development of what MultiVac is capable of doing, really, really excites me. Guys, like I said, let us know when you got into MTV. Are you holding MTV? Are you waiting? Do you want to know more about it? And we will do the staking video as well in a couple of days that might help people in the aspect of a bear market, or even indeed now if that's your game. But guys, we'll wrap that up there. Thanks for watching. We've got loads of videos to get through this evening, especially after the England game. Come on, England. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.